Princesses. It's me, Luna. Thanks for clicking that button to hang out with me for a little while. I am here today on a casual Friday to unbox a deck for you, unbox an Oracle deck. And the one we're looking at today is the Malefique Lenormand. I love this deck. Part of my growing collection of Lenormand style decks. It is by Gniedmann, 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 and it's in this lovely little box, lovely little hard shell box by US Game System. Russian artist Gniedmann has created a uniquely dark and edgy Lenormand deck that delivers pointed answers to divination questions, includes 36 cards and 24-page booklet with keywords and instructions for several card spreads. And I have the lid on upside down. It's going to upset my whole day. All right, here is the little book that comes with it, a very small booklet. And we do have, let's see if there's an intro. The copyright on this is 2021, so it's pretty new. The first Lenormand deck, dating back to 1840, was named after Madame Marie Anne Adelaide Lenormand, the most famous fortune teller in the 19th century. Madame Lenormand lived in Paris, France, but was well known throughout Europe. She'd been studying ancient esoteric numerology and magic books since childhood, and through her life she compiled this knowledge into one divination system. The Lenormand cards were created after her death on the basis of her research and her methods. The system was new, simple, and easy to use. Unlike tarot cards, the Lenormand deck is based on simple imagery of everyday items that have direct and clearly understandable meanings. There's a little more to it than that. The tarot cards are typically drowning in detail and hidden hints. Each Lenormand card focuses on one picture. Now that is true, but that picture has so many levels that you can read it on. Nevertheless, each Lenormand card has multiple meanings, there we go, that are connected like a flight of thoughts when one meaning is associatively linked with others. This feature gives the Lenormand Oracle a lot of flexibility in spite of having only 36 cards in the deck. The cards have only the upright position and should not be turned upside down. Reading the Lenormand spreads depends primarily on understanding certain combinations of cards. They are to be drawn at least in pairs. The most effective, simple spreads use 3 cards. But the main process of reading involves connecting the meanings of symbols together. At first it seems easy, and is easy, but after gaining experience, the user comes to realize that dealing with Lenormand cards can yield a lot of surprises and a great depth of meaning. Yes, absolutely, I agree with that. The meanings, they have the number, and they also have the suit of regular playing cards, as you can see on the cards themselves. Let's get you zoomed in. I need Jeopardy music or something here when I'm doing this part. Okay. Let's set the book aside and get this bad boy out. I love these hard shell boxes. And, you know, just to show that you can have these kind of really nice sturdy boxes for small decks. It seems like those are only used for, you know, kind of bigger size Oracle decks. And look at this, is like the best part. We have a black shiny border. So exciting. All right, the backs are this fabulous like dragon eye, and this, I find this art style so appealing. I'm going to zoom you in some more. All right. So look at this. You've got this dragon eye, and you have these very finely bordered or edged spokes coming out. It's really organic looking. It's delicate. It's come on. Here we go. Let's play with the camera. There we go. Look at that. I just love love this style of artwork. All right, let's go to the cards. So you know that these are going to be the same as any Lenormand deck. It's not an expanded deck, it's just the 36 cards. Okay, I have all but blacked out my room here because I have all the wrong kind of light. So you can see a little bit better. So here is the rider, and you can see this one's called Horseman. You have the number here, and you have the symbol from the playing cards. And the number, so 9 of hearts, corresponds to the rider. Then we have 6 of diamonds, Clover. Ship. Look at the beautiful colors. This is 10 of spades. House. That is the, I believe, the King of Hearts. This house. I'm not going to give all those. Then we have tree. I mean, just this, just incredibly appealing style to me. That very organically curving, random, you know. Look at clouds. Ooh. Okay, now with Lenormand cards, the original deck, the clouds have kind of a light side and a dark side, and depending on where other cards fall, the meaning is different. So we do have a light side up above and a dark side down here. You might even talk about this being the light side if you want. I think that would be up to you. Then we have snake. Coffin. The pointiness of it too, you know, there's very fine detail and points, and it, yeah, look at this. It makes me happy. Okay. Yeah. And it looks like, oh, that would be easy to do. Anybody could do that. It's not easy to do. It is not easy. Scythe. Whip and broom. This is one that gets so detailed that if you didn't know what it was, you might be a little hard pressed to understand what you're looking at. There's the whip that curves around, you know, there's the handle of the whip there, curves around, out of focus, and then there's the broom. Fortunately, the names are right on the cards. There's birds. This is another one. I mean, look at how otherworldly these creatures are. So you see many, many faces there. Many beaks open, many faces. See, this is why I like unboxings too, because I can see things close up. Child. Creepy little kid. Fox. Oh. Look at that. Yeah. Bear. Okay, so knowing that this artist is Russian, the bear depiction is very, very interesting. Wow. Stars. Look at that. And I mean, stars stand out because clouds has a full color image, but most of the other ones are just one thing on a white background, and then you see something like stars. And how beautiful is that? Oops. Then we have stork, dog, kind of playful, creepy, tower, poking through the clouds, floating in midair, garden, mountain, looks like a witch's hat, crossroads. I love these things where it looks like, you know, a chunk of earth has been ripped up by the roots and is floating in the air. Fabulous. Rats. Heart. So usually it's mouse, but they've gone with rats. Come on. Ratty, come into focus, please. Okay, heart. wonderful, like a melding of the symbolic heart and actual heart vessels. That's pretty cool. Ring. If you didn't know it was ring, I think I'd be tempted to say mirror first, but you can see the gem on there. It'd be a very uncomfortable ring. Here's book. Again, so very stylized. Letter. Wow. Man. Very demonic looking man. There he is. And woman. Very hourglassy. So she's holding the female symbol. Is he hold? Yes. So you can see the male symbol in the background there, and she is holding the female symbol. Then we have lily, sun, moon, key, fish, anchor, and cross. All right. There's the full deck. Let me zoom you back out. Okay, now for the test drive. With Lenormand cards, you can't just do a, it's difficult to do a what do I need to know right now kind of reading, because the cards are so nuanced, and it really, whatever nuance you go with depends on the frame of the question. So it is a style of deck that really does require a specific question to get an answer, to do a reading that makes any sense. Now, at the back of the book, there are there's some spreads here, and each card there's a range of meanings. Like book says knowledge, wisdom, information, experience, learning, secret. Lily says serenity, sensuality, sex, ethics, virtue, moderation, wisdom. Raina George also talks about Lily being legacy and longevity, and if you think about like fleur-de-lis or lilies, it just has this. Fleur-de-lis used to be a symbol of royalty, and the big thing with royalty is lineage, which means going back in time, so lily can have that connotation too. Key, new possibilities, revelation, solving problems, breakthrough, release. So we do have just a range, a short range, not comprehensive by a long stretch. Okay, in addition to these metaphoric meanings, the cards can sometimes be literal. A child can mean a child, and a dog can mean a dog. Sometimes seeking hidden meanings is not needed at all. Truth, you can be like completely literal with these. Spreads, remember to focus on the question while mixing up the deck and make the questions clear and simple. After that, draw the cards. They can be drawn from the top of the deck or from the middle. There are a lot of spreads. While learning, start with simple ones. I use 2 and 3 card spread configurations to form a solution to the questions. I prefer with Lenormand, with cartomantic style decks, which is Lenormand, Kipper, deck of character, those kind of things. I prefer odd number lines so that there's a definite middle, and you go to the middle to describe the heart of the question, and then you can look at the corners, things like that. Heart mind plans. Okay. Spread is simple but effective, can be used in love questions but in business as well. Begin by drawing each pair of cards. All right, there's an attitude spread. Weight, dreams, fears. The spread was made for strategy planning. Shows a person's attitude from a psychological point of view. Peace, negotiations, war. I think these all have the same format of 3 pairs of cards. So you do have a middle. Let's see what this says. This spread is useful for finding a way out of confusions or conflicts or tense situations. Here we explore 3 ways. The first pair of cards shows what to expect if trying to end the situations by making peace, forgiving, and letting go. Sometimes the situation needs warmth and forgiveness, and then the conflict resolves itself. The second pair shows what to expect if a diplomatic approach will be used, seeking mutual compromise and negotiation. A productive dialogue helps a lot, and the last pair of cards shows the outcome if aggression is used. Okay, the last pair of cards. And the last pair of cards shows the outcome if aggression is used, because some people only understand aggression. They believe if you try to resolve situations peacefully, that just makes you look weak. Showing strength makes them retreat. This straightforward approach is effective as well, because some people need to give way to their aggression and then let go of their resentment, and after this, peace can be possible. Okay, so I'm going to look at the heart-mind plans. Combining 3 pairs of cards, we look at the attitude of a person to the querent. All right, I mean, I'm going to go with what they're talking about here just to test drive it. And then we have choice for yes-no questions. When making choices, especially when it's about binary yes-no questions, it's good to compare your options. An effective method is to use a double 3-card spread. The upper row shows what will happen if option 1 is chosen. The lower 3 are for the second option. Look, compare, and decide. All right, we're going to do this peace negotiations war, and I bet you know why. But to start off, let me do this. Hey, burning myself. All right. We're going to give them a little bit of a cleanse. A lot of dead air today. I don't want to apologize. Okay, a little bit of a smoke cleanse. A saltwater blessing to the book as well, and the box. And then, guides and guardians, allies and ancestors, thank you for being here. Thank you for helping me test drive this wonderful deck. I am asking for your engagement here to help me see and read clearly. The question that I want to ask about, and I offer this fresh water and the fire of Azrael to bring the spirit of divination into this deck. They don't shuffle too easily with a riffle. Let's try that again. I mean, it's a small deck to begin with, but they're relatively stiff. So let's just do the cut shuffle. And I do want to ask about the situation in the world, the situation in Ukraine. So if you're watching this down the line, it might be really informative. If you're watching this after everything is over and done with, you'll be able to see how well I did, right? Okay, so please tell me, peace negotiations war. All right, that indicates to me that they want to stop shuffling. We have dog and snake. Oh my. And then the middle, let's do them like this so I have room. In the middle we have clouds, horseman, tree, and house. Okay, so we will look up the meanings in the book, but the first cards describe a peace situation, if peace is sought. We have dog, witches, friend, helper or assistant, trust, loyalty, and support. But then we have snake. I mean, this is so clear already, you guys. Danger, desire, seduction, betrayal, conspiracy, wisdom. So what these are telling me is that peace requires dependability and loyalty. Peace requires trust and friendship. You know, coming to accord, being friendly with each other, but mostly what's standing out to me here is loyalty and support. And then we've got snake. So this indicates to me that there's a lack of trust. The dog is looking towards the snake. The snake is looking forward. But the dog is saying, I don't trust this snake. The dog is, you know, trusting and loyal and looking there going, yeah, but that's a snake and I don't trust it. So to me, the option of just plain old peace is not an option because we have a party here that cannot be trusted. Now, when we look at negotiations, we have clouds, tension, growing uncertainty, complications, and depression, and then we have horsemen. Energy, activity, passion, success, being on your high horse, news and messages. Okay, so if we're talking about negotiation, what does negotiation require overall but communication? It requires open communication, truthful and honest communication. So clouds coming up right away says things are obscured, things are confused, things are obfuscated. So as far as negotiation goes, we're not going to be able to have clear communication because there are clouds obscuring it. What are those clouds with the snake up here? Could be lies, deliberate obfuscation, deliberate clouding of issues. And then horsemen, okay, so clouding, and the horseman is messages, it's communication, incoming news. So confusing incoming news. That, all right, arrival, success, passion, news and messages. I think, very clear, these two just say confused messages, cloudy communication. And down at the bottom, war, the first one we have is tree. Roots being rooted, growth, health, past connections. And house is home and home affairs, stability, protection, real estate, traditions. All right. So, roots and home. This talks about long-standing territorial stuff that, home for a long time. So, okay, protection also, protection of home. Past connections. All right, what I'm getting here is that, what is the war about in the first place? It's about Vladimir Putin trying to rebuild not the USSR, but the Russian Empire, which was much farther reaching than the USSR was. So we're talking about the claim of roots that one party is so rooted in wars of territoriality, long-standing wars, and claiming that Ukraine is an ancient Russian home. They're even claiming that there's no such thing as Ukrainian people, justifying, the genocide that's going on over there. So as far as war goes, that's, what I want to do is spread these and take a third card with each of them. Now, do I take straight off the pack or do I want to cut? They're telling me straight. Anchor. Dog, anchor, snake. So anchor represents something that holds you down. It can be stabilizing, but can also weigh you down. Point of balance, stability, hope, safety, security, weight, heavy burden, getting stuck, no progress. So as far as peace, there's a big anchor around the neck here. And, progress can't really be made because instead of friendship and loyalty, we've got a snake that is not to be trusted. And that would weigh down any attempt at peace. In the middle here, negotiations. Fish talks about money, wealth, abundance, prosperity, business, and money affairs. Fish is a very interesting thing. It was always really difficult for me to link the idea of money with fish. And somebody said, what about like the Bible and the multiplying of the loaves and fishes? Okay, so we can look at abundance there. That kind of brings me back to that meaning. But you just think of, millions of fish in the sea, that the ocean is this source of, unending abundance of fish and food and, all that kind of stuff. So that's what fish is about. So we have clouds and news and messages. confusion and messages, and in the middle is fish, money. So what confuses negotiations? What is this really about? You know, they might cloud it, but what it's really about is wealth and money. What it's really about, and I had someone tell me once that, you know, someone who is a wonderful scholar, say that, you know, if you look at any sort of ideological wars and you start stripping back, what it really comes down to is the most fundamental things in life: water rights, land rights, rights to resources. What Russia's looking for is the resources that Ukraine has. Ukraine, the breadbasket of Europe, Russia wants to control that money. And they also want Mariupol. They need ports. Russia is landlocked, so they need the port of Mariupol. That's why they annexed Crimea, to have access to the sea. All right, so any negotiations needs to understand that money is at the heart of everything, and particularly now with all the sanctions. And then at the end, the key, the resolution. Let me read, okay, these other ones. Fish I read. Let's read key. 33, new possibilities, revelations, solving the problems, breakthrough, release. So we would need to break through. I mean, war, the key, all right, let's see, the key to this war, I'm confused, is breaking this idea that Ukraine belongs to Russia. And, you know, one of the things that's attempted to be done through the genocide is breaking the roots, breaking those people away from their roots in that actual land. What else? Stork, that is also new beginnings. I don't know, I'm confused. Coffin Clover. Okay, war. So R.I.P. Coffin, yes, war is going to result in many more dead, but there's something here. Clover talks about good fortune, changing fortunes, short-term luck, good possibilities and opportunities, small windfall. So it could be a small victory by the time they lay waste to Ukraine and have contaminated it with whatever, you know, chemical weapons and or nuclear weapons. You know, I still feel there's going to be a nuclear weapon launched. Let's look at Stork. Changes, moving to something new, grace delivery. Okay, so we can have a move to something new that will bring a short-term victory in war, but the price is paid by the dead. Okay. Well, I can't say that I'm too thrilled with this spread in the deck. I think what I'd rather do, and this is a short video, so I'm going to. You know, I'm sure a lot of people will be bailing out by now, but I don't care. I'm going to do 2 lines of 5. Asking the same question. Tell me about Putin's invasion of Ukraine. All right, they don't want to be shuffled anymore. We're just going to lay them out. Look at dog coming up in the middle again. Okay, that verifies. That, to me, validates that we're still on the same subject. Things look like they're crooked to me when they're really not. Okay. All right. So in the middle we have dog, and then we have whip and broom. Whip and broom can talk about repetitive motion. It can talk about punishment, something that just keeps on repeating and repeating. Let's see what it says. I'm going to end up reading practically every meaning. Quarreling, scandal, conflict, violence, punishment. Yes. And then we've got doggy dog up here. So we have this, you know, loyalty is punished. Loyalty goes more than unrewarded. It ends up being punished. So those, and I'm thinking of, someone who was Putin's lapdog and possibly still is, Marine Le Pen, I can't remember, in France, and Donald Trump in the U.S., and who knows who in other democratic countries. Putin has been at work on us for a long time. He has, and you have to acknowledge that. All right. On the corners, we have Scythe. Scythe bear. Look at this. The cutoff of Russia. Here's the sanctions. Cutting off the bear. Okay, Scythe. Sharpness, abruptness, quick decisions, desperate actions, danger, payback, vengeance. And then the bear. Power, leadership, strong character, authority, money, richness, dominating figure, ferocity, rage, protection of one's territory or family. So that absolutely is Russia in the person of Putin. Scythe talks about violence, so this can be him attacking out of the blue like that, or and the sanctions against Russia, cutting off Russia from the world. Then we have stars and sun over here, which two of the most hopeful cards ever. Stars, lofty perspective, far distance, moving toward goal, inspiration, optimism, hopes, and dreams. And sun is light, warmth, energy, power, success, truth, clarity. So look what we have opposite here. We've got, anyone that's loyal to Putin is punished. He's being cut off from the world. His power and authority are being cut off. But what is more dangerous than a bear backed into a corner? Still, over here, we have hope. Let's go through the lines. Cut off of news, don't kill the messenger. News of loyalty, news of friends. Possibly he's looking at, since being cut off from the world, who his friends are, who's still sticking with him. And loyalty is a very confused thing right now. He doesn't know. He's confused about who is loyal to him. And then we've got the stars, the clouds clearing and hope returning. We have bear and rats. Okay, so the bear is worrying his ass off right now. Rats or mice. Minor but unpleasant losses, theft, illness, verminous enemies hard to detect. Okay, he is so paranoid right now. He is riddled with anxiety and worry. Whip and Broom says it's riding him like a bad fucking pony. But then we have garden, which talks about a gathering of people socializing. Social interactions, meetings, public affairs, popularity, social networks, gathering. So I'm thinking maybe, do we go to negotiations? Here we've got the clouds there and confusion, but it's a gathering of people under the clouds. The gathering is under the clouds of war. This could also mean that success is wishful thinking for him. He's hoping for success, but those two together, I think, would say it's wishful thinking. Horseman. Okay, news brings all kinds of anxiety and worry. Let's look at how things night. Scythe, whip and broom, and stars. So scythe is cut off at the knees. Whip and broom is just things that keep coming and coming and coming and bringing punishment. But there's still the stars over here. There's still some, at this point, delusional thinking. Maybe he's thinking that by just continuing attacks, that's where his hope lies, in just continuing to beat on Ukraine. Let's look at this triangle. Bear, dog, and sun. Okay, so loyalty to the bear. Who is loyal to the bear? And the dog is looking to the sun for success. So I think he realizes that success is absolutely tied to who will stay loyal to him. Who will stay loyal to him. But the people loyal to him are being punished by the sanctions. Holy shit, look at this. People being loyal to him are being punished by these sanctions. They're being cut off. So again, success can be illusional and delusional and wishful thinking. All right, other knighting, horseman and garden. That news arriving, gathering with people. Still, any gatherings are under clouds, so we can have that image in our minds of him sitting at a 50-foot table with people that he used to trust, that are his people, all the way at the other end of the table. Wow. Then we have clouds and rats. Confusion, worry, anxiety, loss. He's so paranoid that he's being stolen from. He's got all these delusions. And, we can look at the clouds obscuring the stars, that things are so heavy right now that you can't find your way to hope or success. Certainly it's saying that success comes from gathering with people, but is he too paranoid to do that? Wow. I'm sure there's more that could be gotten out of it, but ooh, I love this deck. Please tell me what you think below. If you're a Lenny reader, please tell me below what you think about this spread. What are you seeing here that I might be missing? I would say the deck certainly has the it factor, and it's going to be my go-to Lenormand probably from now on. I do like Ciro Marchetti's Lenormand because it's expanded. There are extra cards, and they're well worth having. But these, they're gorgeous, and I absolutely love them. All right, you guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me. Hit the like button, hit subscribe if you aren't already, and don't forget the bell so you know when I drop content. If you really enjoy this, there's a couple places down below where you can buy me a cup of coffee or buy me a deck. And if you buy me a deck, I will read for you on my video. That's a deal in my book, because then I get a new deck. All right, you guys, take care. I will see you next time. And until then, this is Luna. Blessed be.